Unlike my friend Travis Danraj, who is no longer allowed to be on the CBC, it hasn't for months. He actually had me as a guest on there and got in trouble for it. Baroness von Sketch is a CBC survival, I guess. And one of the sketches I saw just the other day is a play. And the woman does the intro saying it's the land of the natives and all the different companies, tribes. And then someone says, excuse me, then why are we here? Shouldn't we leave?
No, I just mean if we're on someone else's land, shouldn't we leave?
Oh, no. The theater is here now. We'd just like to acknowledge whose land it is.
I'm sorry, I'm so confused. So if we're on someone else's land, shouldn't we do something about that? Or
hopefully we'll enjoy the performance.
Well, why are we saying this stuff? Well, Karen Restoule, why are we saying this stuff? Because natives don't stand up and say, we have this land and it's not yours.
Yeah, there's a lot of discussion and debate around land acknowledgements today. And interestingly enough, last fall, I was at a conference up in northeastern Ontario with a colleague of mine. And the conference was largely hosted by the local First Nations. And it kicked off with an elder sharing a prayer with the room and giving thanks for the land and turning to all four directions and expressing gratitude for everything that Creator, that God has given us. And my colleague turned to me and he said, what's going on? This isn't a land acknowledgement. And I said to him, no, it's not. This is how First Nations generally, this is my norm. This is how we often, very often we have elders to open up the gatherings with a prayer.
Was it a prayer of thanks?
With a prayer of thanks. And so I'm with you. I think more and more as people really, through reconciliation, start to understand First Nations culture and traditions and start to unpack what it all really means, I think Canadians are starting to figure out that some of the practices that may have been brought in by, let's say, woke progressives 10 or 15 years ago don't actually reflect the culture and tradition of First Nations across the country.
Well, I would argue with that I understand that. I've been with Native groups, they've opened up, and it, as I said, it's a prayer of thanks. But when you have a bunch of people in downtown Toronto, and they go, blah, 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 and they say, well, how good are we? I just think that is just the height of hypocrisy. And do you agree then that we should just get it over with, stop it?
I think we should reevaluate how we kick off gatherings. What's the intent of the gathering? Are we sharing a meal together? Are we gathering 500 people to discuss policy issues or whatnot?
If you're there in a play or to watch a play, that has nothing to do with giving thanks. So why do we go through this? Would you agree with me that we should just can it?
I don't. What I'm saying is that I like ceremony. And if there was a way to integrate gratitude for the world around us and give thanks to those who came before us, who cared for land and water and allowed us to gather here today. They didn't, torch the earth. We're still alive. We're able to benefit from. Showing thanks for that makes a lot of sense to me. It's got to make sense. It's got to make sense.
Whether you're Christian or whatever you are, that makes sense. Makes sense. To those of you who have subscribed and donated, a heartfelt thank you. You're keeping us on the air. If you're watching and you haven't, please try to do so, because 4 years ago we started this show because there needed to be independent analysis. Now more than ever, with the Online Harms Act, once that gets into law, it's been passed once by the House, there are going to be hundreds of bureaucrats censoring the news in Canada, censoring this show. We need to keep it on the air. Thanks for your support.